Welcome to Block 929. Today, we're going to touch a very interesting topic. So, I welcome you to this live stream, and I hope that a lot of young people from Africa are going to join us so that we can share ideas and find out why. We need to investigate to find out why our young people in Africa, they don't want to stay in their own countries. They want to go out to look for greener pastures outside their country. And most of them, whenever they go, they travel out of their country, they realize that they've been chasing a pipe dream. Yeah. So today we want to discuss and find out, um, why does this happen? So yeah, I see I've got one guest who's with us now. Please announce yourself. I want to know who's the early bird today. Where are you watching us from? And please don't forget to like the stream so that it gets uh, also shared to other people. Yeah. But today, this is what we're going to be sharing. Why is it that young Africans, they want to leave their country to go to a strange country because they think that they're going to get, like greener pasture that side? I am one of them. I left at a very young age, so I'll be talking from experience. Yeah, so yeah, that would be great. So this is going to Sherry Ame. Thank you. Welcome. Good afternoon. You are in the Caribbean. It's afternoon that side. Here in Malawi, it's just after 8:30. So it's almost 20 to 9 at night. So yeah, I see you still there in the afternoon. That's interesting. Please like the video so that we get more people joining us. Yeah, so today I'm just discussing a very interesting topic because it's funny that we have our brothers and sisters in diaspora who want to come to Africa, and then we have our young brothers and sisters in Africa who want to leave Africa. So why is this happening like this? Is that continental Africans don't want to stay in Africa, but we have our diasporas who are like, they can't wait to come back to Africa. So sometimes it's because many of our young people are misinformed. I'm talking from experience because I also left at a very young age. I left my country to go and look for greener pasture. So yeah, I had some of my reasons, and I think most of the young people, the reasons are similar. So I will be sharing from through experience. So that's how I'll be sharing this. Shirami says, it is the regular weekday, but I am on vacation, so I have lots of time available. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so nice to hear that. Yes, Sundays I'll also be doing live. I normally do a live on Saturday. I'm going to switch to Sunday because many of the people, our friends in diaspora, on a Sunday, I'm watching. When I check on YouTube Studio, I see that most of the people are spending more time online on a Sunday. So Sunday is when we get a lot of views on our channel, meaning that there's people have got a lot of free time on Sunday. Welcome to Block 929. If you're just joining in, please like the live stream and also leave a comment. Let's know who is with us today. Where are you watching us? And so today I just want to talk about this because there's a lot of talk about our young people. People always say so many things when they see our young people aspiring to leave the country and go outside to maybe the most popular place in Africa is South Africa. So everybody wants to leave their country to go to South Africa. So we want to discuss why this happens. And if we've got any South Africans here also, maybe they will understand why they're seeing a lot of people flocking into their country. So yeah, it will be like another opportunity for them to understand why people do that. If you're one of the young people that left your country, whether it's Malawi, whether it's South Africa, or whatever country it is, and you're living in a strange country, please share with us why you made that decision. Do you think that you made the right decision, or do you think that you made the wrong decision? So you can give us also some reasons why. I know it's a very controversial subject, but sometimes we need to be discussing these things so that we can find out solutions to say, okay, how can we sort out issues like this? For me, I believe that as young people, when they leave, let's say, leave Malawi, they're going to South Africa, they should be going there to explore business, to go and, trade, or, find partners to do business with, between the two countries. They shouldn't be leaving Malawi to say, I'm going to South Africa to look for a job. Because most of the opportunities, you find that they always say home is best. You find that there are better opportunities in your own country than when you go to other countries. And so this is why I found it that it's very important that I share this live stream so that we discuss about it. Bobby Ban says, watching from Miami. Welcome from Miami. What's the time that side? I'm sure it's also in the afternoon. Are you at work, or you've knocked off from work already, or you are at home, or you're on holiday or on leave? Please let us know. Yeah. So don't forget, if you haven't like for us, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because this is now going to be a regular thing that I'll be sharing. I'll be live. It's almost like, I think it's 3 times a week, because I'll be live on a Sunday, and I'll be live on a Thursday, and I'll also be live on it's almost three times a week. Monday, also sometimes Monday I'll be live. So you don't want to be missing these interesting topics that I'll be sharing. There's plenty of topics that I want to try to be sharing, so that we help one another, more especially the young people in Africa, try to realize opportunities in their own country. And other thing is also to help our brothers and sisters who are in this diaspora to actually find, understand, and get information about Africa, so that when they transit to Africa, they don't have to struggle. So that's actually the main purpose. And the other thing that I also share is also the business that I'm running, so that the young people can also learn from my experiences. So yeah. So welcome to Block 929. Bobby Barnes said, it's 2:30 p.m. I'm off work already. Wow. Was it a shift? Why are you knocking off so early? Did you work a few hours? And I would like to know about that. Or do you start a night shift or graveyard shift? So let us know. If you just join us, please like. I see that we have about 8 participants, 5 likes. Please don't be stingy with the like. Just press the like. Yeah. So why is it that young people, they make a decision at a point in their time that they want to go to South Africa? And I mean, like, most of the times here, even here in Malawi, every time I'm meeting young people, they are always telling me, they want to go to South Africa, and, they just wish this Corona thing is over, they can go to South Africa. And I'm always telling them, why do you want to go to South Africa? They say, no, they want to go there, look for a job. So I always tell them, can't you start something here in Malawi? Then they say, but there's nothing here in Malawi. So why is it that our young people cannot be able to see the opportunities that are available in our country? But then they see opportunity outside the country. So let's discuss about this. Sweetie said, good afternoon, Ted. UK. How is UK? You must be getting out of winter there, maybe. I think so, because if we are having summer this side, are you having also winter there? Yeah. So I just want to know. I think you must be getting out of winter, going into summer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right. And what's the time there in the UK? I would like to know what time it is there. Yeah. So let's discuss about this, because like we all obviously know that the reasons why our brothers and sisters they're trying to move from the West to come to Africa is because they have realized that there are more opportunities in Africa than in the West. And another thing is that when they come here, it's much, Africa presents a good platform where you can express yourself. You can try out your skills without barriers. You don't have other people that are going to build walls to stop you from expressing yourself. But then why is it that our young people, they want to risk their lives to cross the what you call this Mediterranean Sea, and then go to the west? They risk their lives. Some of them are dying on the way going there. But when they get there, do they realize their dream? And I understand many of them, they come there, they arrive there, they discover that, life is not always, they say that life is not always green on the other side, something like that. So yeah. Sweet Tea says it's just the start of summer. It's 7:45 p.m. Wow. Okay, start of summer. So we kind of having the same, but here in Malawi we're getting into the cold season. Oh, okay, that's start of summer. Shell Army, young people don't see the resources they need to create a prosperous life for themselves in Malawi or in Africa. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. Like I'm the culprit because for myself, when I finished my secondary school, and at the time in Malawi, there weren't private colleges, so the only way for you to go to university, you had to be selected, and the university could only take a certain number of students. And at that time, it was like, the whole Malawi finishing high school, it was a lot of students finishing. So they only selected the best students to go to university. So I was not one of the best students. So the moment I could not find myself in landing myself into the university, I said to myself, why then do I have to stay in Malawi? Because there is this kind of mentality where we are always telling our children that, yes, education is very important, and that's true. The education is very important, but we also don't want to encourage our children to say, if you haven't had the opportunity to go to university, it doesn't mean that you are doomed. There are other options that you can follow. You can start your own business from scratch. Learn. There is a lot of NGOs that are providing information, like teaching people how to start businesses. There's ways of get more knowledge for you to start a business. You can go to a technical college, something like that. But we actually, when a child does not succeed to go to university, the parents get so angry and very disappointed, and they'll be saying negative things to the child to say that now that you didn't go to university, you are doomed. Your future is blink. So the child has got no choice. Then they start thinking, so the best option is for me to leave and go maybe look for something outside the country. And the easiest place that many of the young people in Africa think of is South Africa. So they pack their bags and they leave, they go to South Africa. Yeah, but then the situation in South Africa is not the same like the way it was. Like in the days that I used to go to South Africa, when you arrived in South Africa, it was much easier for you to find a job because at that time, the country had just transitioned from apartheid. The apartheid was just abolished, but there was still this kind of friction between the blacks and the whites. So many young people did not want to go and look and work for the white people. So they were very reluctant to look for jobs. So for us, when we come there, it was much easier to get jobs. But today, the situation is different because now every young South African knows the only way to uplift their lives, and the only way to upgrade their lives is to go look for a job. So the basket has become very smaller. So you as a foreigner, already you are an underdog because for you to get a good job in South Africa, you need to have papers. So if you don't have any papers, you won't get a good job. So most of our young people, when they go there, some of them, they are graduates. They end up going there and then they're doing jobs like they're cleaning in the people's houses. They're working in the restaurants. They're doing jobs that are very low jobs, you see. And at the end of the day, with those low jobs, you are at a disadvantage because when you arrive in a strange country, the most important thing that you have to find first is accommodation. And then accommodation is very expensive. So you find out that when you get paid at the end of the month, the money is not enough for you. You can't even be able to save money to come back home. So many of our young people, they arrive in South Africa and they find that they can't get a good job and then they are stuck. So they can't come home because also we as Black people, we have this pride. You say, you left your country or against all odds, you're going to look for greener pastures. You've been there for 3-4 years and you haven't found that green pasture. Now you can't just come home with nothing. So most of our young people are stuck in South Africa at the moment. They can't get a job, a good job, and they can't come home because they have nothing. And me, I always tell the young people whenever they say they want to go to South Africa to look for a job, I always tell them, you can't go to South Africa in these days for you to look for a job. It will be very difficult to get a job because at this moment, even the South African young people themselves, they can't get jobs. The unemployment in South Africa is very, very high. So unless if you say you're going to go there to get knowledge, to go and learn something, because for me, I can say South Africa is the best place for you to go to get knowledge, for you to go and learn. So say, for example, you go to South Africa and you're working at a garage, even if they're not paying you well, but they're training you as a mechanic. By the time you finish 5 years, you will be a very good mechanic, so that when you come back to Malawi, there's no way you can suffer because you will have gained the experience, like you will be a true mechanic. If you go there and work in a hospitality industry, you will learn a lot of things. I used to have one of my relatives. He was working in Stellenbosch at Cocaccio restaurant, and he was running the bar. And I told him, I said, you have been working here for a long time and you've learned a lot of things. You've learned how to run a bar. If you can go to Malawi, you're going to open a very nice bar, because looking at the environment you're working and how the professionalism that you are showcasing, if you take the same mentality, you come home, I'm telling you, you'll be making a lot of what do you call this? Sex on the beach and all those kind of things that they make in the bar. Yeah, so that's what I told him. But he came back, he's in Malawi, but hasn't started anything yet because it didn't come with money at all. So this is the problem, that you spend a lot of time there. When you come back, you come with nothing. So I wouldn't advise the young people now to be thinking of leaving Malawi to go like to South Africa to look for a job. I would say start to learn and find out, use the internet, learn from YouTube or Google how to develop new skills, the skills that are very rare in Malawi, so that you can start something, you can introduce something that is in demand. So there's plenty of things that you can do in our country. All right. Cheryl says, she's agreeing. Sweetie is agreeing to Cheryl and says, you are 100% right. Yes. Young people don't see the resources they need to create a prosperous life. And the biggest resource that they need is knowledge. And it's not, people would think that the biggest resource they need is capital. But you'll find that you give them the capital, they start a business and it flops. So you need first to be hungry for knowledge, to learn, to understand, understand how to start a business, how to run a business, but also understand the opportunities that this country offers, because Malawi has got plenty of opportunities. All right. Shoami says, technical schools must be given due respect. A trade is vital. Young people must be taught a trade area as a way to make employment for themselves. That's true. And this is a discussion that I was having with one of my Malawian friends yesterday. He is in the UK. I was telling him that I have got an idea. I would like to, because he said he wants to work with me. We need to start a business together. So he told me to think of something that we can do together. So I told him I've got an idea. I would like to open a school. And this school, we're going to start from primary, and then we're going to grow it to secondary school. And then at the end of the day, we're going to grow into a technical college, meaning that we want to produce students that will graduate from our school with skills, not graduate from our school with paper. So we want them to graduate with school. So we don't want students that are going to come to our school to ever be employed. They should be employers. That's the kind of school that I would like to come up with. So we had a long discussion yesterday, and my friend agreed. So we are going to be having our next level. There's one of our friends who's also in diaspora. He's got land. I might be going to look at this land and see how where it's positioned, if it's good place, because he's willing for us to go implement this idea. We want to open a school that will create graduates who will be able to start a business, start a company, not to go look for a job. We don't want our students to finish and say, I want to go look for a job. Because in the school itself, we will make sure that once the students have gone to high school, in high school level, there will be a workshop on the school. So it's going to be a boarding school with a workshop. So when they get in high school, they will, during weekends, Saturdays, when they are free, they can go in the workshop, or after knocking off from school, they can go into the workshop and then be practicing. Some of them will be doing electronics, some of them will be doing welding, some of mechanical engineering. So we want young students to start learning these things even before they go to university. So by the time they are going to finish their high school, they have already got the mentality of producing things. We want graduates that will produce something. That's what I want. That's something that I'm passionate about. So we want to build a school that has never been built in Malawi, with a concept that has never been done in Malawi. So all the parents that are going to send their students to our school, they know that already that my child is going to be in this environment where they're going to learn skills, where they will produce. So even the entry itself is going to be, we will have to carefully select the students to see what kind of skills they have, their mentality, how they think, and all those kind of things. And the school will also help students who cannot afford. So a certain percentage, 5% of the students are going to be students that we, as an organization, we are going to sponsor their education. And we also want to link with diasporas who are going to invest in this school, so that in the future, when they graduate, because of the diasporans who are living already in the West, they will try to be able to organize scholarship for our students. So that's my idea. What do you think about the idea? Yeah, so this is something that I'm sitting and I'm thinking. So, and we discussed yesterday, and I said to myself, this can be done. The only way to change the mentality of our youth is not to start trying to change the mentality when they are already graduated, they finished school. We should start from primary school. That's where we should start sharpening the minds of the young people who are going to be leaders of tomorrow. Yeah, so this is where my idea is. So if I'm looking at, if we can start, say, for example, next year, it means the first graduates, when they are finishing, I'll be 71 years of age. So it means that at 71, I'll be happy that I have started creating change, making a change to our country, and then we are developing young people. If we are going to have, let's say, for example, 30 or 40 students who are graduating, so we have increased 30 students who can be able to start a business, who can be able to manufacture, because this is what we're going to aim, manufacturing. All right. Sheikh Ame says the school is a good idea. It is a good idea. In fact, in Malawi, there are so many private schools, but most of the private schools are actually there for money. So we don't want to open a school that is going to aim at just making money. We want to actually be producing, entrepreneurs. So from primary school, the young students will be exposed to entrepreneurship skills. When they go to high school, when they're working with this workshop, they can even be manufacturing stuff there, simple things that they can manufacture that the school can help them to sell outside. So people can be coming to the school and buy some stuff that the students have made, so that the children are starting from early age to start understanding the concept of business. By the time they're finishing high school, they are already entrepreneurs. That's my idea. All right. So yeah, this is what we want to be doing. We are thinking of doing in the future, build a school, because I'm always very passionate about the youth. I want the youth of Africa to actually start opening their eyes at the very early age. I'm always saying, if I knew what I know now at the age of 25 to 30 years, I don't know where I would be today. I wish I could reverse time, but unfortunately, I can't be able to do that. So yeah, Please, what do you think about the idea? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think that you would want to take part in such kind of an idea? Just let me know. So we're going further to talk about the young Africans who want to leave their country to go and look for greener pasture. So, like for me, when I finished my high school, my father was very disappointed that like I couldn't even be able to make it to go to university. So he told me, he said plainly, my son, you're going to find a very tough, you're going to go through a tough life because, in this country, if you don't have the paper, you are a nobody. And he said to me, you see those guys who come on the street collecting dustbins, that's where the direction you're going. And knowing myself, how I grew up, how my father, raised me. We were a little bit, I wouldn't lie to you, we were better off. We lived in the suburbs. In our house, we had domestic workers and all those kind of things. So I said to myself, now look at what's going to happen to me. I am doomed. So I had no choice. I started thinking of now going outside the country to look for greener pasture. So that's why I left and then went to South Africa. So most of our young people, they are leaving the country because they have no choice, because they feel hopeless. And then they're saying, no, now that I didn't go to university. Some of them didn't go to university, and they say, I'm going to leave anyway. Then we have graduates also who are also doing the same thing. They're leaving our country. They're going to South Africa. Some are going overseas. The reason why they're doing this is that they have been sold with this idea of saying that if you have got a degree in Malawi, you are sorted. So they worked so hard. They've been studying and reading and spending 5 years at the university. They graduate, but then there's no job. Now they lose hope. They say, now, if I can't get a job, I think then I must go to South Africa. So they go to South Africa. They find that they are qualified, but they can't get a job because they don't have the papers. So they start doing, like working as garden boys, working in the houses of people and working at filling stations. That's the job that they end up doing. And then you find that this person can never come back home because he's afraid when he comes home, people are going to laugh at him. So he just keeps on staying there and struggling and wasting many, many years living in a strange place and without actually making his ends meet there. So for me, I believe that I always tell the young people that don't make that decision to go to South Africa unless you want to go there to go and gain a certain skill. But otherwise, if you're going there to go and for greener pasture to get a job and save money to come home, you are actually lying to yourself, because that is not going to happen in this day and age. In this day and age, you can't leave Malawi, go to South Africa and expect that you go there and be able to get a good job and make your life better and come back home and start a business. That is not going to happen unless you go there, work at a garage, earn peanuts, but gain knowledge. So when you come home, you can bring that knowledge with. Yeah. Sure, said, mold the young minds to be producers and entrepreneurs from area on. Yeah, that's something that I've been thinking, and I told my friend yesterday that this dream might be sounding like a pipe dream, but it's a dream that can come to reality. I mean, when I came back in 2011 from South Africa, Malawi was not building with cement blocks. It was only corporations like NGOs that were building cement blocks. And I came here with a manual machine, and I said, I want to introduce this technology here in Malawi. It was tough, but eventually, look at what is happening. Those who know me can actually agree to what I'm saying. I was ridiculed, I was shouted at, I was almost beaten up because of trying to preach about cement blocks. But today, we are seeing cement blocks all over Malawi. So if I single-handedly could achieve something like that, I believe that also when it comes to transforming our youths and transforming how young people think, I can play a role in that area. Even if it's going to eventually just impact about 500 young people. 500 young people, if we can have 500 young people in Malawi with a mind of manufacturing and entrepreneurship, life will never be the same. Yeah. Dave Bantu, Greetings from Caribbean. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome. We're touching on a very nice subject here. Sheo Ami says it is okay to go abroad and get a skill, but you must come back home to apply your skills. Yes, go when you're abroad. If you come back from abroad with money, I'm telling you, and you're still young, I think you have wasted your time. For me, that's what I can say. If you go abroad and you come back with a skill, you have really gained something, because that skill, the money, you can lose all of it, but the skill is gonna feed you for the rest of your life. So if you are abroad, or you are anywhere outside your country, come home with a knowledge, come with new knowledge that is very scarce in your country. Even if this knowledge is there, but make sure that when you go there, you learn something. Our founding father, Kamuzu Banda, our president, the first president of Malawi, he used to say, the best education is traveling. So when you travel, you are even more educated. You get more educated because you learn things that are new, which you can bring in your country and implement. And that's exactly what I did. I went to South Africa. I came back with a lot of knowledge. I didn't come back with a lot of money, but I came back with knowledge. And the knowledge that I came with, even like today, I'm doing engineering work. I didn't learn it from South Africa. The knowledge that I came with from South Africa is life skills, like the mentality, how to think, how to plan, how to set goals, how to learn, things like that. I didn't learn this engineering stuff I'm doing in South Africa. I learned it after I came back from Malawi. I learned it here in Malawi through my phone. So, but South Africa had given me a platform to understand and learn how to learn. Because many people, they can read a book, but they won't be able to apply what they're reading in the book. Some people, they can even watch YouTube videos, but for them to learn from that video and apply, they can't. Some people, they can watch me, talking about, how to see opportunities in Malawi, but they won't be able to learn what I've been trying to teach them. So you have to learn how to learn. So that's very important. Minnie Robert said, yes, Africa needs the trade schools, which will help bring up the country. Yes, there is a lot of trade schools, but I think we need from the early age to teach our young people to have the right mindset, because the whole thing is useless. Even if you give education whatsoever, but if the mindset is not right, then you have a problem. You have a problem. So we have to teach our people to have the right mindset. So I believe that if I start a school like that, by the time my students start to graduate, other schools are going to see that there's this school that is very popular. Even parents, and they will start talking about my school. And then they will come to learn to see, how does it do it? So people will start implementing what I'm implementing, so that they can also, because they'll see that maybe I'm just getting a lot of students coming to my school is becoming popular. They will want to know what I'm doing. They will start implementing. Then this can just trickle around, and then we will find, just like the way we did with the cement blocks. Today, there's a lot of welders who are making cement block machines. So yeah, because one person came here and introduced some machines, and they've seen what he's doing and how it's benefiting him. Now everybody wants to do the same. So it has helped other people to create jobs through the learning from what we have been doing. So I want to lead by example, and then come up with this school, because it has been bugging me to say, what role can I play? Because in most of the times, we are always blaming the government. The government is not doing enough, and our leaders are not doing enough. But what are we doing ourselves to make sure that we bring about the change that we want? So you have to be the change that you want to happen. Yeah. Minnie Roberts said, job creators. Yes, that's what we want to create. Young people who will create jobs. Every university in Malawi, maybe if you go to other countries, if you go to the West, there are so many entrepreneurs there. So most of the graduates, most of them, they have to graduate to get a job, some of them. But in Africa, each and every graduate who is graduating, more especially Malawi, each and every graduate who is graduating must be a job creator. Maybe if it's in like medical, it's very difficult to say, okay, how can somebody start a hospital straight from university? But if you are an engineer, mechanic engineer, you are in the field where, like you can manufacture stuff, you should start, even in accounting field, start your own accounting company. We need a lot of accounting firms in Malawi. So yeah, if you graduate, create a job. Don't go looking for a job in a country where there's no job. So it's not going to help you. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, so a lifelong learner. Yeah, always learn all the time. Young Africans run away from their countries from the dysfunction of the authoritarian governments. But did you know that there are some young people who are doing business in the same authoritarian government? You see, so we can say that governments are not good and all the stuff, but you still find some people who are entrepreneurs like myself in the same type of government that the people are blaming, who can start a business. So I don't think we should be blaming governments, blaming anybody about this. I think we should be blaming ourselves for not sharing knowledge to our young people and teaching them, how to think, how to plan, how to start a business. Because any country, even the most poorest country, has got some rich people who are doing business there. So what kind of mentality are those rich people or those type of people who are doing business? So how come they have that mentality in that environment and the others don't have the same mentality? So we have to receive, there must be a balance there. So look at how can we actually, we have to make sure that in a country, there will always be people who have got the right mentality and who other people have got the wrong mentality. But the ones with the right mentality, they need to be more than the ones with the wrong mentality, not the other way around. So that's what we need. So how do we do it? And the schools is the only place where we learn these kind of things. And I was chatting with my wife the other day. We were saying, okay, like the school where my daughter goes, sometimes they write tests. It's a day where they write tests and they finish school area. And my wife talked to the teachers and said, every time when our daughter, when they write a test and they're knocking off early, please just send us a WhatsApp to say that the kids have knocked off. We send them early today at 1 o'clock. Because as parents, we need to know a child finished early today. Why is the child coming home at 5 o'clock? Or why is the child coming at home at 4 o'clock? But the schools never do this. And no matter how my wife has talked about this and explained about this, there's a reason why we're asking you to let us know, because we just want to know when a child, if you tell us that the child finished school at earlier today at 1 o'clock, and the child should come at 5 o'clock, we're going to question and say, where were you all this time? So, and if the child also knows that when I knock off early, my parents are going to know what time I knocked off, the child will not wander around going to other places. But the schools don't do it like that. I mean, like in South Africa, if a child, the school that my kids were going to school, if a child stays out of school, the next day they will not allow the child to go in class without a letter from the parents explaining why the child didn't come to school. That doesn't happen here in Malawi. So the children can actually stay out of school. We can think that the child is going to school and the child can stay out of school. We will never know that the child is not going to school. Even if it's a week, we'll never know that the child is not going to school. You see? But the school is supposed to have those kind of systems put in place. If a child is absent, they can't attend classes without a letter from the parent or without a parent calling and explaining why the child stayed out of school. So in South Africa, if a child stays out of school, is sick, the next day when they're going to school, we used to write a letter to the teacher, put it in the notebook, in the books of the child will give it to the teacher. Because otherwise, without that letter, they will not allow the child to go in class. But here in Malawi, it's not happening like that. Even private schools are failing to do that. They're supposed to be doing that. You see, so sometimes they will be defending the child, like if the parents start asking questions, why the child did this, and they will be like defending the child instead of being straightforward and saying your child is misbehaving and all these kind of things, so that so that you can try to guide your child the right way. Says, hello, Ted. Glad to catch this live. Hope the family okay. My greetings to Sherry. Greetings, AM. Yeah, so I just started a few minutes ago. Um, but the discussion today, we're talking about the young people, why they leave their countries to go to other countries to look for a job or greener pasture. And I've already explained that sometimes most of them, they're doing it because um, some of them didn't manage to go further with the education, and they think that staying in the country um, they're not going to benefit anything. So they would rather go out and to a place where they can look for a job, get a job and get money, so that they come back home, they start a business. And sometimes also when the young people graduate, they are so disappointed because when they were in school, they were sold the idea that once they get the degree or the qualification, then they will be their life is going to be better. So once they graduate, then they find that they can't get a job. So then they feel like, why should I be staying in the country? I would rather leave and go and look for greener pasture. So, but now what they're forgetting is that they're living in a country where there's no jobs. So if there's no job, it means there's a market for jobs. So why do you want to live in a place, go away from a place where there's a market for jobs? Why don't you just start a business there and create jobs? So they don't see these things. Why don't they see it? Because from the time that they were in high school, in primary school, secondary school, and going to university, they were not given the skills of how they can start a business, like to learn how to be entrepreneurs. So there's no entrepreneurship skills that were shared to them. It was just only the knowledge that was given to them. So they were not taught how to connect between the knowledge they learned from school with entrepreneurship knowledge, connect them together. Because for you to be an entrepreneur, you need to have some kind of knowledge of how can you start a business and how to run a business. So you find that the young people are going to university, technical college, they study, they learn how to weld, finish, graduate. But when they finish, they don't have the skills to learn, like how can they start a business? How can they transform the knowledge into money? And many people don't are unable to do this. Yeah, so welcome. Please don't forget to like. I've got 16 people and 20 likes, which is very good. I like that, so that YouTube can be sharing these videos to some people. I would really love to see a lot of young African people participating in this kind of talk, so that we can share ideas, because I don't want you young people to leave Malawi to go and look for a job anywhere else. I want you to stay with me here and create jobs, because there are so many jobs that are needed, in Malawi. So many jobs that are needed. There's jobs in the construction industry. There's jobs in the agriculture sector. There's a lot of jobs. Today, my wife was telling me that we should build a pond at the back of the house and put some fish there, so that we don't go and buy fish anymore. So just imagine, we can raise our own fish. In Malawi, you can actually start fish farming and you start making money out of it. So there's just plenty. If you are a student at the Bunda College of Agriculture, you can start so many things. You can start your own small farm, a vegetable farm. You can start fish farming. You can start goat farming. You can start so many things that you can do. And in the animal husbandry, the money that can come there is much faster, because you can say, for example, you start a pig farm. Within a year, 2-3 years, you'll be doing well, selling a lot of pigs. Rabbit farming, they multiply like crazy, So you can start. There's so many things to do. Albert Taufik said, "Do you fabricate farm implements?" Taufik from Nigeria. Yes, I'm starting to fabricate farming implements now, and in fact, it's delaying me because I've got a few orders of cement block machines in my workshop, and then to get the space to start doing these things, it's becoming difficult because and it's harvesting time in Malawi, so I need to manufacture soya sharing machine and also a maize sharing machine, and I have to do it before the end of this month. So this weekend I might be able to do it. And I was looking at doing a video of me, making these machines so that other people can also learn from it. So yeah, I want to start doing agriculture products. So I don't know which farm products you would want yourself, but for me, this is what I want to start with: maize sharing machine and the soya sharing machine, and I can even do even the rice one and the groundnuts and also beans, one that does the beans. Yeah, so this is in place, and there's a lot of people asking me now to even do in the construction industry to produce concrete mixers. So I might be doing concrete mixers very soon. I'm just busy working on steel bending machine. So I have to make it myself so that I can bend the steel to form like um, just for bending steel, like flat bars and flat sheets. So I'm busy. I got some from scrap some of materials that I want to be working on, but we are just so very busy now. So it's delaying me because if I miss this month, by the end of next month, people will have harvested their stuff and then they will have taken them to the market. So it will be difficult for me to sell this equipment. So I need to do it sooner. Yeah. So are you watching us from Nigeria? What's the time there in Nigeria? Yeah. So if it's your first time, please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss these talks that I'm always sharing. Sometimes I might be talking a subject that you relate with, so you don't want to miss. And after subscribing, please press the notification bell. I've got some subscribers who are also with me in a WhatsApp group. I'm always sharing. When I'm coming live, I'm always alerting them to tell them that I'm going live, because some people they do miss when I'm doing the live sessions. They do miss because they don't get notifications. So that's why I share it on the WhatsApp group. All right. So yes, if there is anybody who is living outside the country, please share why did you leave your country. I know many people don't feel comfortable to share this kind of information, but yeah, you can, if you can, please share with us why did you leave, and did you make the right decision. Me, when I lived in South Africa, I didn't find it to be a bad decision because it presented an opportunity to learn. I discovered that the one thing I discovered there was that even though I was not having the qualifications, though I was not educated, I was being given the opportunity to work in an environment where if I was in Malawi, they wouldn't have employed me because of my qualification. So that opportunity opened my mind, and also because it taught me that then I can. Because if I was employed as a shift manager in a casino in South Africa, and the casino is a corporate world, so if I could be a shift manager in the corporate world, it means that I can start my own business and run it without any problem. So it actually opened my mind. If I never traveled, I don't think I would have been able to run a workshop and run it the way it is today, because I wouldn't have learned that corporate skills that I learned in South Africa. It would have been very difficult. Irene Dove says, money, money, money. Yes, money, 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 money. And Shea Ame says, education. Yes, education is very important. But we need to always make sure that in that education, there is skill. And that skill should be more important than the paper itself. So once it's like that, then we have sorted the problems. At the moment, most of the times, the skill is lesser than the paper. So the people, when they finish school, they're leaning more on the paper than leaning more on the skills. That's why we find that in most of entrepreneurs in overseas, they end up dropping out of university, because once they've come up to the point where they've got the skill to start a business, they find that chasing the paper is going to waste their time. So they just leave and then they go start a company. Skill is more important. That's what I believe myself. I don't know, but yeah, at the moment for me, There's nothing else I have other than the skill. So, and the skill that I have, nobody can take it away. So I can go to any country and I can start manufacturing machines, agriculture equipment, anything else, and I will be able to make it because of the skill, you know. And the paper is not going to be much important for me. So if I arrive, say for example, in Kenya, in the suburb, in a slums in Kenya, there, I'll go to the scrap. The first place I'll go is a scrapyard. So from the scrapyard, I'll try to put up small things, and then I will make a cement block machine, because I know in Kenya they don't have people making cement block machines there. So I'll take that machine and I'll go to a construction company and say, "Can you check this machine for me?" And I will demonstrate to them, make a block, and they automatically they'll ask me, "How much is this machine?" And they'll take the machine. I'll take that money, go back to the scrapyard, make two machines, sell again, go back to the scrapyard. By the end of the year, I have got my own workshop. And I will use Facebook to market myself so that people in Kenya, they know about me. And then at the end of the year or 2 years, I'll have so many people that knows me in Kenya that I manufacture machines. And through my Facebook, I'll be teaching people in Kenya how to build with using cement blocks, how to manufacture blocks for their business, for their houses. And within 3-4 years, people will have developed trust and say, "This is a knowledgeable guy." And then at that time, people will be able to give me deposits for me to make machines for them. And that's what I'm talking about. These are the things that the young people should be able to learn and know that, okay, if I want to start my business, this is how I'm going to start the business. Okay, so Irene says Africa has a lot of universities, but never hear of them get good jobs. Yeah, the thing is, this university is focusing on the what can I say? Theoretical knowledge. They don't really concentrate on the practical knowledge. I can tell you something. Here in Malawi, we have what they call the Polytechnic University, and at the Polytechnic, the students are learning engineering. So you have mechanical engineering, civil engineering is there. And there at the Polytechnic, they have got the most sophisticated workshop there. They have lathe machines, they have milling machines, they've got each and any machine that you think of. And you know what? At the Polytechnic, I'm sure they realize that our graduates, our students, they're not very much focusing on the workshop. The workshop is open to the public. So even me, who is not a student, can go there and I become a member of that workshop. I can be going there. If I want to make a machine, I can go there and use the facilities to make my machine. Imagine. Yeah? But you will never hear that the students at the college, they are making money by making cement block machines or making plows for the farming implements, or they're making mbaulas. Mbaula is a stove for cooking using briquettes or something. You will never hear that they're doing these things. And I understand that most of the students there don't even spend time in the workshop. If I could be at that university as a student, I will be spending every day in that workshop. I'll be having my phone and learning skills, and then I'll be implementing there. I'll be using my pocket money to go to the scrapyard to buy materials to be making these things and selling them. I'll sell them on Facebook, in fact. But the student sits there with a workshop just around the corner, but every day, every month, asking parents to send them pocket money. Imagine. So for me, if I was a student there, by the time I'm graduating, I've already started my company. So I'll just be like saying to my customers or my market base and say, I finished now studying. You can now find me. I've got a workshop at such a place. So most of the students, when they are learning at these universities, the lecturers are focusing more on the theoretical knowledge, not the practical. Because if I can be a lecturer at the university, I will be making sure that part of the examination that I'm doing, every student must come up with something that they've designed and made, even if it's an idea that they've gotten from somewhere. But if he comes with a briquette stove, it will be part of the it will be added to the marks for the examination. I will be doing stuff like that, so that my students, by the time they finish, they are able to make things, because an engineer must make things. He must not just sit and calculate only with a pen and paper. He must make things. Because in the world that is going to go, is going to be about making things. So that's why when they finish, they look for NGOs where they're going to be drawing designs and all the stuff and wearing a tie in the office, things like that. No, engineering field is for making things. We're looking at the war in Ukraine now. They're using a special drone that flies and it smashes into a tank and explodes. Engineers designed that. Practical thinking. People are still thinking and they're doing things. But we in Africa, as long as you take a paper, decorate it, put it on the wall, you wear a tie, on a sheet, sitting on a chair that swivels like this, and that's all. And then you tell people I'm an engineer. No, that's not how it works. I have tried to get Kenyans jobs for 7 years. I make suggestions. Let me see. Okay, Arej Wetofi says it's 8:27 p.m. here in Nigeria. Wow, it's almost the same as here. It's only that we are, I think, 2 hours ahead of you. And I didn't say same time here in Liverpool, England. Oh, so you got the same time like in Nigeria. Irene says, hello, Nigeria. Irene says, teachers get low pay in Kenya. Okay, they get low pay in Kenya, all right. But teachers are getting low pay everywhere in Africa. So Eric Betofe says, hi, Irene. Eric says, do you know Chama mission? Sure, I mean, practical skills trump theoretical skills most of the time. Yeah, most of the time we have to do practical skill. Have practical skills. Irene Davos says, I have tried to get Kenyans jobs for 7 years. I make suggestions, but most will not listen. Yeah, most of the young people, when you talk, nowadays it's very funny nowadays. When you talk about nonsense stuff, you get a lot of attention. You get the eyeball. But when you're talking about like these talks we are talking here, many young people will not be interested to sit down and listen to what I'm saying or watching what I'm saying, because they would rather I talk about useless stuff and things that don't make sense, and then I'll be having like 1,000 participants, sometimes 3,000 participants. My subscribers will be doubling almost all the time. If my YouTube is about doing nonsense stuff. But when you're talking nowadays, when you're talking sense, practical sense to people, most of the young people, they are not going to give you the eyeball. They don't want to hear stuff like that. They want to hear crazy stuff. You can see YouTube should be a platform where most of our young people should be making money from. But what is happening? They are all focusing on TikTok. They spend most of their time on TikTok. And you go to TikTok and see how many educational stuff do you get there. Almost zero. Most of the stuff is useless stuff. So even my daughter, I'm forcing her to open a channel. She's got a YouTube channel, but to spend more time on a channel, sharing, like sensible stuff. She doesn't like it. She wants to be doing TikTok and just do crazy stuff, dance and make funny things and stuff. And you find that young people, that's where they're spending most of their time. They don't want to sit and watch somebody like me who's sitting here talking about serious stuff, how to develop your life, how to better your future, how to grow yourself, grow your life. They don't want to listen to this. They don't just want to sit around the corner and complain about the government, complain about the country, but to sit down and learn things and to learn how to develop their knowledge, they don't want to do that. Irene says, have you heard of Professor Lumumba? Yeah, I've heard about him. He's a Pan-Africanist, and that man really talks sense. And this is one of the people that I'm talking about. Like that guy, he always talks substance. And you'll find that many people won't like that guy because of the stuff that he talks, because he talks substance. So in Africa, I don't know what has happened to us. We don't want to hear, good news. We want to hear bad news, and that's not good. That's not good. Uh, Ren says, have a look, Facebook or YouTube. And he says, all right. Irene says, Professor Mumba. Sherami says, combine practical skills with theoretical skills to strike a balance between the two. Yes, you have to, if you have the opportunity to combine practical and theoretical, that's a bonus. But like if you are in a situation like mine, practical skills is more important. I mean, like you see that, like for instance, I want to design a machine that will be sharing maize. Somebody will be sitting in the office, busy drawing on the paper, but me, I will be sitting practical, doing a practical machine and make mistakes and fix it and make it, while this guy is busy sitting in the office and just busy drawing. And he will do his calculations and discover that based on his calculations, this thing is not practical. It cannot happen because it's lacking this. While me, I'll be improvising and I'll be reverse engineering until I get it right. Yes, I might need those theoretical skills, but I think you are on a much, much safer side if you are leaning on the practical skill. So if you to balance things, great. Like for instance, for me, if my company reaches a point where I need some theoretical skills, I can always employ somebody to do that for me. You understand what I mean? So if you want to start from scratch your business and you want to succeed in life, practical skill is the most important part of it. Very important. And if you look at it in Malawi, 70% of the people are self-employed. And out of the 70% who are self-employed, most of them are artisans. And these artisans, they've never gone to university. They don't even know, some of them don't even know how to write. But these people are employing other people, they're doing business. So the country is being run by people who have got no practical skills. I mean, who knows no theoretical skills, who are depending on their practical knowledge that they have. So you can see that without these people, our country is doomed, because then there will be a lot of people who don't have a job, a lot of people who are not even doing business. You see? So because a lot of the young people who have gone to university are relying on their theoretical knowledge, they're finding it very difficult to enter into the practical world, because the world is practical. That's the truth. The world is practical, it's not theoretical. Almost 3/4 of the things that you're doing every day, you are doing it in practice, like in actual activity. You are not depending on theory. Even when you want to go online, it's practical. It's all practical. Even if you want to do anything, it's practical. So it's in a minimal level that you're going to be doing a lot of theoretical skills, depending on the theoretical skills. So I would say, if you are an underdog or you are a disadvantaged person in terms of education, try to yearn to get the practical knowledge. You will never suffer. Yeah. So yeah, I always say, if you give people money, you're giving them theory. But if you give somebody a skill, you're giving them practice. So yeah, they say give a person a fishing rod, you feed them for life. If you give them money, you're going to feed them for a day. So yeah. The colonial mindset to get an office job. What a shame. Yeah, that's. I think there's something that they came here and they implanted in us to say that if you want to be respected in life, you should be wearing a tie and sitting in front of a desk in the office. That means then you've done it. They never told us that even then, when you go to the West, the people who are doing very well today, they came on that platform because somebody else was working dirty somewhere. Somebody was like using their physical hands to build something, you know. So, but then people come here in Africa, they think that if they see somebody like me who's always wearing a work suit, they see somebody who's suffering. Yeah, so they see somebody who's struggling, but they don't know that hey, this guy is busy. He's got an agenda behind. He's busy working. One day they will wake up and say, "Ah, how did this happen?" And then they start coming with so many ideas. In Malawi, they come with other ideas. They say you have joined Satanism. How come you are not educated and you're making that money? Because they think that it's only education with that certificate that will help you to make money. They don't know that the platform on the world has changed now. It's a different scenario. Life is never the same. During the time when I used to watch my dad, and my dad used to spend hours and hours studying. He used to tell me, my father, he was raising us. I was in high school. My father was still taking books, going to the park to study. But at the end of the day, he was employed, struggling. He couldn't build a house. It was difficult for him to build a house. But today, me, I'm his son. I'm not even a quarter educated to the education that my father had. But I've got my own house. I've got my own company, with a high school certificate, because the tables have turned around today. Today, I can have this thing. This thing can help me to make anything I want. This thing today. That's what has happened today. Yeah. If I want to make a tractor, I just have to go to Google and Google for a tractor. In Russia, there are so many people who are making small little tractors using parts of cars and parts of scrap and other stuff. And at the moment, I'm watching a lot of those things, and soon I'll be able to make a tractor, because the tables have turned around now. Today we have got this thing. This is actually the University of Hard Knocks. If you've never been to university, you have to have this thing and join the University of Hard Knocks. And then you use Google and YouTube to build things. That's what is happening today. So here I am sitting here and talking with people all over the world. And this thing is what they call human capital. From this platform, there are people that I can do business with in the future. The tables have turned. And now you find that people like us, we are very smart. We understand the importance of this thing, that this is not, if you want, this thing can do anything. It can build people and it can destroy people. So it's up to you. What do you want to do? Do you want to use this to destroy other people, or you want to use this to build other people? Then it's all the choices that people make. And you see that I was telling my young guys yesterday, I said, God gave us something that is very universal to each one of us, and He gave it for free. God gave us time. Right now, I'm sitting here discussing with you guys, and somebody will think that I'm wasting my time, but I know that I'm not wasting my time. I'm actually investing here. I'm investing in my time. So some people, they're using the time for something else. They go on Facebook to make somebody else's life miserable, to go and shoot somebody else's posts. They go to to point fingers at politicians. But some of us, we use the same platform to market ourselves, to sell our products, to build good relationship with customers. So the tables in this time we are living in, the tables have turned around. So don't fool yourself to say, okay, I've got the paper, and because I've got the paper, my life is sorted. I'm telling you. And you look at your friend, you say, that one doesn't have a paper, his life is doomed. You're lying to yourself, because that's not applicable anymore today. Because with your theoretical knowledge, you can learn how to build a drone, but I can also learn how to build a drone using this. So things have changed now. And it has actually made life to be very unfair, very, very unfair. So this is why I'm trying to explain that, our young people, they need to understand what I'm talking about now. They need to understand that you can turn your tables right now. From tomorrow, you can turn your tables. Our young people should be using YouTube. Our young people should be opening their YouTube channels, and the YouTube channel will give them the opportunity to market themselves, to do some network, you know. And if you are doing a business in Africa, you should be using YouTube, you should be using Facebook, you should be using WhatsApp. You know, people think that using Facebook, YouTube, and the WhatsApp is for the people from the West. No, you have to use it. In Malawi, they used to say, how many people are online? And me, I always say, the small number of people that are online is very important to me. You know, so you should be where the eyeball is. Even I always says that the companies that are spending their money marketing on YouTube, on the TV or radio, they are wasting their time, because the eyeball today is not on the TV. Here we are, I'm sitting here, we're having a chat, but just in front of you, there's a TV. And I am actually taking that eyeball for those TV people. That market, I'm stealing that market, and I'm bringing those people to come here. You see, so the world has changed. The world has turned around. As an individual like myself, I can become a TV presenter. I can become, this platform of mine can become a TV station. And at the end of the day, I could have now 500, 1,000, 10,000 people watching me on YouTube while I'm talking on the live session. And it's possible. I told my cousin Adrian, I showed you this young boy who does music, who's singing. I told him, I said, my friend, he said to me, I know, uncle, my music style, Malawians won't like my music style. So, you know, I said, my friend, you don't need an audience today. You don't need a band. You need your phone. Your phone and your guitar is enough. You get somebody to be shooting your videos. You can go in town and play music to people, your genre, and you know, share it on YouTube. At the end of the day, you grow your audience. You find that if us Malawians don't love your music, you might find that you're growing an audience in America. You might find that you're growing an audience in the UK, and that audience will help you to generate money. Some people, they will join, they will be supporting you, you know. So, but the boy did not understand what I was talking about. He wants to have a band. He wants to have an audience and go and do a live show. He doesn't want to spend time with a phone videoing himself. This is how the young people are thinking today. They can't see that there's an opportunity that is just in front of them. They're looking for things, opportunities very far, while the opportunity is just on your doorstep. You see what I'm trying to say? All right. Rejbe said, it would be a great idea if you can fabricate molding machine. What molding machine are you talking about? Because at the moment I'm fabricating, you're talking about briquette molding machine. Oh yes, I've made those machines. I've made the manual briquette machines, because there were a few NGOs that asked me to make those briquette machines. So I've sold a couple of briquette machines before. Yeah, so I do make briquette machines, but I haven't made the mechanical ones. So I've made the manual ones. Iren said, Chama interested in mostly malaria. Interested in mostly malaria. I don't know what that means. Please explain what you mean when you say more interested in football. I helped 20 widow grow in sacks in Nairobi slums. Young man Osman Toure. Yeah, Osman Toure is from Gambia. Yeah. Irene Davo, I don't know where you're watching us from. Are you watching us from Kenya? I have seen you on so many platforms. I'm always busy on YouTube. I have seen you on so many platforms. I can tell you one of the platforms that I saw you on. I saw you on a platform, is a Russian platform. There's a guy from Uganda who's living in Russia. I saw you commented there, Irene. So I see you on so many platforms. So I want to know, where are you? Where are you? Are you in America or where are you? Yeah, so When I see a profile of somebody, if I see you on another platform, I actually remember that I've seen this profile. So I've seen you, Irene, on my profile, and then I've seen you on so many other platforms for subscribers in Gambia. If I'm not mistaken, I might have seen you on Brexit, but I saw you just recently. I think today, if not, yeah, it was today in the morning. I saw you commenting on a Russian platform. It was about a guy who is from Uganda, who's retired, living in Russia. Am I lying, Irene? Okay. And Reggie said Africa seems to have the same problems with its youth. Yeah, it looks like there was some people that sat down and say, okay, how can we keep Africa where it is? And then they came up with a system. They said, okay, this is what we will do. And then we will put it in the education system. We will hide it somewhere inside there. And hoping that the Africans will never discover it. And then they will keep on, and then they spread because if we look at most of our education systems, you go to country, it's all the same. So yeah, it was hidden somewhere in the syllabus, and it destroyed our mindset. It actually killed our creativity, So that's why you find that if you leave Malawi, you go to Kenya, you go any other country, you're facing the same problem. You find that the young people, when they finish their high school, they pack their bags and then they leave the country looking for greener pastures, leaving opportunities with a lot of green pastures in their own country. And interestingly enough, all African people will find opportunities in a strange country they go. So if you take young people from Nigeria, you bring them to Malawi, they will prosper. If you take Malawians and you take them to Nigeria, they will prosper. You take South African young people, you bring them to Malawi, they will prosper. And that's the funny thing about Africa. So you ask yourself a question and you say, why does it take somebody to move away from Malawi to see opportunities in another country and fail to see it in their own countries? Because if you speak to our youth here in Malawi, they will tell you that we are leaving Malawi because there's no opportunities. But if you go in town there, you'll find that all the shops are filled with the foreign guys doing business in there. Now, then you ask yourself that if you are running away in your country and you say there's no opportunity, then there's somebody who's coming from another country, coming in your country to do business. And then they will tell you, they say, no, those people are able to do business because their governments are supporting them. How? Those people are running away in their country because their government, they feel the government is not supporting them. You understand what I'm saying? Me, I used to sit down in South Africa and think about this question many, many times. I said, why is it that when I'm in South Africa, the South African people, they come to my house and ask me, Ted, how do you always manage to get jobs? How come we were born here in South Africa, we can't get a job, but you are always getting better jobs? Then me, I used to tell them, don't you see that there are plenty of opportunities in your country? And they used to get angry and say, but Ted, what opportunities are you talking about? And in those days, when I was younger, when I'm in South Africa, life was not difficult for me. But when I come to Malawi, it was tough. Then I said to myself, no, there's something wrong. When I came to Malawi, I found that the foreign guys are doing okay. But for me, I'm finding that it's not a good environment for me. I need to go back to South Africa. Then I realized one thing, that when you are in a strange country, you have no option. Failure is not an option. You don't give room to failure. So if you get a job, you make sure that the little money that you get, you need to always work with that money to balance it so that there are going to be good days and good times and there are going to be bad times. So you keep aside some money for the bad times and you make sure that every penny is accounted for. So you don't just waste your money and what other things. But when you come into your own country, you're not worried. You are at home. If tomorrow I don't have money, I can go to my aunt, my uncle, I can ask for food. I can just go to my friend's house, knock there, sit there and eat lunch. So you are not very diligent when it comes to managing your life. When you are in a strange country, you are always managing your life. It's not because the country has got a lot of opportunities. It's just because you are programmed the moment you arrive in a strange country, you are programmed to be in a survival mood. But when you're at home, you are programmed to be in a relaxed mood. So that's what I discovered. So I said to myself, when I go back to my country, I'm still gonna live like the way I lived when I was in South Africa. So when I'm here, I'm not relaxing. So I work Monday to Sunday. I work every day. So I don't want to come to a point where I have no money to go and beg from my aunties, from my cousins. So since I've been here in South Africa, I've never gone once to go and borrow money from somebody or my family members. Okay, when I started, it was a bit difficult. So there was a few people that had helped me, but ever since, I make sure that I put money aside for the difficult times. That's why January, I paid my staff using my saved money because we didn't make any sales. So the money that I saved, I paid for them for the salary. The same with February, I did the same. So I was able to do that because I was putting money aside for difficult times. This is what I used to do when I was in a strange country. So that's the secret. So there's no need for somebody to go outside the country. They just have to live in their own country with a mentality of a foreigner. If you want to learn more, make friends with a foreigner and see what type of life do they live. You'll find that their life, they live within their means. They don't have time to go sit at a bar and drink and watch Manchester. They don't have time for that. They are working every day. Right now, it's almost 9 o'clock. If you go around in my area and you find a shop that is open, it doesn't belong to a Malawian, it belongs to a foreigner. Most of the shops now at 9 o'clock, they're still open. So that gives the answer. No need to leave the country. Just change the way you program yourself. All right. Ted, you provide valuable truths and insight. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. YouTube is a great learning tool once used appropriately. Yes, it's a university on its own. Frozen says useless nonsense online is promoted by subversive with a lot of money. It is called dumbing down of a people. Yeah, so you should be able to know that. I mean, like for me, I spend online to learn a lot of things. I know which information I need to help me. I know which information I should not spend on. So I don't sit down and watch stuff that will not help me. So I'm always learning something every day. There are people that I'm watching every day, like Grant Cardone. I do learn a lot of them. There's Don the Rock or Dan Rock or something like that. I watched that one. Kawasaki, I watch those guys. They're always giving you tools of how you can survive. And I'm also watching channels that manufacture stuff, like in Thailand. I like to spend most of the times watching YouTubers from Thailand, because I know most of them, they're not people who are rich or doing well, but they're doing better by thinking outside the box. So I want to start learning to think like they think to survive. So those are the kind of people, what channels that I watch. That's where I'm spending my money on, to learn new stuff. Mian said said, hi, Ted and family. Hi, how are you? Ted, find out how to get a Patreon account. Yeah, in fact, I've got a Patreon account. I opened it already, but now I haven't really marketed this account. I don't even remember the password that I used on that account, but I have a Patreon account. One day I'm gonna get the link and share it. If you promising that you'll be supporting me on that Patreon, I can do it. Maybe I can be doing what I'm doing now on the Patreon so that people can be members. Yeah. Amena says, that's so sad. Peace and blessings from Brooklyn, J.R. Ruiz, Brooklyn. Miana Free says, greetings from Chicago. Great. It's great to have you. DG, greetings from Uganda. Oh, DG, I was actually watching today. I was telling now, Irene now, that I was watching, there's a YouTuber from Russia. He did a documentary of a guy from Uganda who is retired and is living in Russia. He's living, like a simple life. He speaks Russian, and I would say he is living a simple life and a lonely life. Please search for this guy. Just search Ugandan guy retired in Russia. You will see that guy. But hey, for me, I think he's suffering. But the guy doesn't look like he's suffering. Looks like he's having a ball of his time, because they asked him if he can go back to Uganda. He said no, he wouldn't go back to Uganda because his life is simple for him there. And there's some people that he used to know there. I don't know whether he was married or who, but some people he used to know family that died, that are buried there. So he looks after their graveyard, and that's why he's still there, to look after the graveyard of his family members. So it's very interesting. So watch that guy. He's from Uganda. Mina said, definitely I support other YouTubers. Thank you very much. So I'll share. I must revisit my Patreon account, because on my email inbox, Patreon is always sending me notifications and stuff, but I've never really used that Patreon. Yeah, so I will try to revisit it, and then I can always share. It all depends on how many people are going to be supporting me by becoming members on my Patreon account. All right. So yeah, this is what we've been discussing. And then for those who were wondering why people are leaving their country, young people leaving their country, going to other countries, you know now why it is like that. And if I have got some South Africans who are watching me, now you know why people are always rushing to come to your country. Yeah. Many people in South Africa in the future, they will realize that in the future that they will also want to travel to go to some other country. But also, why is it that foreign people they do better in a strange country? It's just because their mentality is what makes them to do well in your country. The reason is because when they arrive in your country, the guys are always on a survival mode, you know. So they are always, you live a life that is very uncertain. You don't know if tomorrow you have a job. And if you don't have a job tomorrow, how are you going to survive in a strange country? So every time when you are working, one, you want to make sure that you don't lose that job that you have. So you also try your best to put money aside so that for difficult times, and you are always trying to spend your money wisely. So when the citizens of the country watch this person, they always see that person like is doing much better than them, because the person is always having food around him, and he is able to look after their family, and he always have got money. But it's just simply because that person is living in an environment where he knows that he has always be very diligent. You being the country being your own country, you don't care. If you don't have money today, you know tomorrow I don't have food, I can go to my aunt and just sit there for lunch, I'll get something. Or maybe I can just go to my friends and then they will help me. But the foreigner knows, I don't know anybody around this area, I need to look after my money, I have to look after my life. So that's why it seems like when people come in your country, they are actually doing better than you, and having better opportunities than you. But it's not necessarily like that. Mina says, Ted, hook up with Wodemaya and Miss Trudy. Your channel will explode. Miss Trudy is in the USA. Oh, she went to USA again? Wow. Because last time she was in the USA, she came back. She was with Wodemaya in Ghana. And then, yeah, I would like to link up with Wodemaya. I will try to look for. In fact, I have some contact for him. I just want to try to see what's the best approach to approach Wodemaya. He seems to be an approachable guy, but I don't want to approach him and then get a rejection. So I'm actually thinking of how can I approach Wodemaya, and I'm also thinking. I don't know, because most of the YouTubers who are traveling, they tend to avoid Malawi. We don't see a lot of them coming to Malawi. We have seen, yes, the lady, is it African Tigress? She has been here. So there's been a couple of them, and you've seen me. I was with the young man. We talked here, visited me, but there's not many people that are coming to Malawi to visit. So I don't know whether it's because of the country or it's because of us Malawians. I don't know. So I get so nervous to approach these YouTubers because I think I will get rejection. Yeah. So, but I also sometimes think because I'm still a small YouTuber, they won't have any interest to come and visit me. So, but I would really, really love to meet Odemaya. And I also heard that Go Black to Africa is coming to Malawi very soon. But there are a few YouTubers in Gambia that I do communicate with every now and then. By the way, I sent an email to Black Acres of the Gambia and they responded and it was nice. It was nice. Somebody sent me the email for Black Acres. One of the YouTubers, subscribers, sent me an email and said, Ted, try to be in touch with Black Acres. And we agreed that if I am in Gambia, I can go and visit them. And I also sometimes get in contact with the Happy Companion. I haven't done any email, we haven't emailed each other, but yeah, they've been commenting on my platform, I've been commenting on their platform, and also the arrivals. And I also once communicated with Brexit. So I know these YouTubers, if they can come to Malawi, they will definitely visit me. And if I can go to them, I know I'll be welcomed. So yeah, I want to find the right approach for Wodemaya. If anybody is here who is also a subscriber to Wodemaya, please mention me on Wodemaya's platform, because sometimes it works better that way. That you as subscribers, you must actually always go there and you mention me. You say, Wodemaya, do you know about Block 929? Please go visit Block 929's page and see what they're doing. And then maybe Wodemaya will see something interesting. But sometimes when YouTubers are contacted by other YouTubers, I don't know what happens. Sometimes you don't get the positive reaction. Yeah. But yeah, I would really, 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 really do a collaboration with Wodemaya. Yeah, so that's it. The live is skipping. Okay, maybe because I don't have enough. I didn't today. I didn't add those bundles, so maybe that's the reason why. Let me check if I can add some of the bundles. Yeah, I actually forgot. Okay, so yeah, let me just add some. Okay, okay, so I'm just adding some. Okay, so issues. We won't have the live shipping anymore. I've just added some bundles. It was maybe because I've got unlimited bundles, but sometimes the type of unlimited bundles I bought, sometimes you get the skipping. So I've just added some promotional bundles. So the promotional bundles, they're going to be, it's 4 gigs for 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Yeah. So Mina, please mention me on Odema's platform, and then just check what he says, and then maybe if subscribers recommend, sometimes the YouTubers do respond. Just like Mark Meets Africa, a lot of you subscribers, you mentioned me on his platform, and then and somebody said, Ted, connect with him. When I connected with him, it was much easier because he had already seen a lot of people that are recommending, But if a YouTuber just comes from nowhere. Like if I just come from nowhere and start talking to Odema, he might think I'm a stalker. So yeah, please, some people can mention me on his platform. That would be great. I really would like to work with him. Him and the African Tigress. It can be nice to go back to Africa. Yeah, collaborate with them. Yeah, even if they are small YouTubers, there are plenty of YouTubers here in Malawi. Just like what I'm saying, that when you try to approach some of these YouTubers, it's almost like you're stalking them. There are some YouTubers from Malawi that I've tried to communicate with them. They don't even react, even when you comment on their things and say, "Oh no, I'm also having a YouTube channel. Let's collaborate with some time." They don't respond. So yeah, it's that's the way it is. I mean, they maybe look at your channel, they see you got 5,000 subscribers, they don't care. But one of these days we're gonna be big. You guys are helping, you coming, you watching my lives, you watching my videos, and you liking and you're commenting, and this is helping the channel to grow. And we're growing at a very good pace. We are growing at approximately 500 subscribers a month, so that's not bad. We will increase it to 1,000 subscribers a month very soon. But yeah, that's what we're doing at the moment. We are doing 400 to 500 subscribers a month. Yeah, so thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for always being there. Lots of insects flying here, but the rainy season is gone. Yeah, so we have chatted today, so I think it's time for me to go, unless there's something that you would want me to talk about or something that you want to ask me, something that you would like to share. Yeah. Yeah, please ask a question so that I can answer, or please try to share if you would like to share. Yeah. But otherwise, if there is not much anymore that you would like to talk about and share, please suggest topics that you would like me to be sharing on the live shows, because we are having another one on Sunday. So yeah, please share the topics. I'm not going to do a live show on Saturday night. I'll do it on Sunday night. The reason being that I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are online on Sunday evening around this time. So there's plenty of people this time. So it's better to, go where the money is. Yeah, so go where the eyeball is. Yeah, so that we get a lot of people to participate in our live shows. What am I not speaking for him would definitely not say no to you. Go black to Africa won't either. Your life is skipping. Is it still skipping? Yeah, I have that video from my Ted hookup. Okay. Did you say? Yeah, I have that video from my recommendation, but I haven't watched it. Okay, it's a very interesting video. Yeah, I watched that. That guy, DG, please watch the video. That guy is actually, to me, I think it's a description of passion. It's a description of somebody who is fulfilled with life, because the man is living a very simple life, but he doesn't seem to be worried about it. He's happy. I mean, he's an old man, uh, but he's not complaining in his life. I don't even think he was pretending. I think he was genuinely being passionate and enjoying, and he was able to make jokes and laugh, and so many people have commented about that video, and there are so many people who want to help him, and I'm sure he's going to be helped by many people. One thing about YouTube that I know is that a lot of people, subscribers, they are, when people subscribe to a channel, they actually really passionate about supporting you. It's not like Facebook. So I believe that the way I saw the comments that were shared on that video, that man, a lot of people are going to help him, because people have been talking of opening a GoFundMe. Some people have been thinking of, contributing some money in a certain way and all those kind of things to help the man. The reason why people have been obliged to want to help him is because the guy is showing that he's enjoying life. He's living a fulfilled life, even though he has got very little in a very strange country. So he touched a lot of people's hearts. And I advise you to watch that video and see this guy, and you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So yes, I will try to contact Wodemaya and see what the reaction is, and I'll get back to you guys, and then and give you a feedback on what was Wodemaya's response. Yeah. And it can be nice to do, even to just do a live with him interviewing me. That would be very, very great. I think also in sales, we learn something that says, if you want to make a sale, you need to ask. So I'm going to approach him, and I'm going to ask him to say, Oremaya, look at my channel. I think I've got the potential to grow. I know you like to help people, and you are going to help me. Let's do a collaboration and then see how it goes. I won't let you down, because I know you are passionate about us Africans growing. So yeah, I am going to approach Wodemaya. Thank you very much for giving me that courage. All right, so now I need to log off. If there's no questions or contribution that you would like to share now, like if you want to add up something, or suggest on the next topic for the next videos, I say thank you very much for the time, for being with me. Today we had a couple of people that were watching this live, so I really appreciate every now and then coming. The next live that's going to come is going to come on Sunday, so I'll be sharing the topic of that one on Sunday. I think I should make the live, or the Sunday's live one, very interesting, more interactive. So yeah, maybe I should do sales training, or some kind of a training, marketing training, Facebook marketing training, or something like that with my whiteboard. So I'll try to come up with ideas and share. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time and your attention. I really appreciate. Yeah. So thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Thank you.